Recording in progress.
Hey all, we're now joined by Sentinels. We got one pre-submitted question before I open the floor for live questions. And the pre-submitted question is from Decklimit Laughlin, upcomer. And this one is for Sick. Whether you won or lost the match, your team still has a spot at Champions. What are your plans between now and the start of the tournament?
I mean, obviously we're going to practice a lot. I think before this tournament, I don't know if we practiced as much as we could have. And I think maybe we're a little behind on the meta. So I mean, that was our fault, but for Champions for sure, we'll be super prepared. Yeah.
Got some more pre-submitted questions. Next one is from Brandon Moore, run it back, and it's for Shazam. Unfortunately, things didn't go your way against Team Envy, but Sentinels is still one of the top teams in the world. I'd like to know what this experience at Masters Berlin has taught you and what you will take away from it moving onto Champions.
Yeah, like the bounce off what Six said is it felt like going into this tournament, we kind of knew the ideal comps that we wanted to run theoretically, utility wise, but we weren't able to like implement them as well as we would like to. So we even like fell back on like some comfort picks too. Just maybe we just need to like rehearse it more and practice more. But then like also just I feel like we just played a little bit differently today, and you know sometimes it happens. You can't be 100% all the time. So just do what we continue to do and practice hard for Champions. That's a big focus now. We have some time to make the most of.
Got another one from Declan, upcomer. What has changed about Envy since the last time they took a series off of you back in February at Stage 1 Challenges 2 outside of the roster? And this one is for Shazam.
Yeah, obviously since then they've made a roster change. They added a good player in Ye. I think it's changed their play style a little bit where you know, if they get a good lead, they play really confidently and loose. You know, like he'll make individual plays and it can kind of snowball the game. And I feel like that's what happened. Like we didn't get a good footing on Haven for sure. And as soon as we got a rhythm, I feel like we just like, when it gets into like a deep game like that, where it's really close, it's situationals and they get really messy. And then Split, it felt like once they got a good lead on us, they were like making really comfortable solo plays, and it's tough to play against if you're not on top of your like comms, rotations, and they took full advantage of that.
Moving on to live online questions. Dustin Steiner, you can go first.
This one's for Zoms. You said yesterday in your post-match interview that you wanted the number 2 seed. Do you think that kind of backfired on you guys a little bit?
Oh, no, not really. I think we just got aim diffed a lot of the rounds here, like especially on Split. Like you saw Ye just dash in and just get 2 1-taps, which should be like impossible to happen. So I think we just need to win our duels.
Next to go is Brandon, run it back.
Hi guys, so we're streaming this live on our YouTube, and username Big Taco has a question for you guys. He wants to know what G2 and Envy did differently that you saw from teams you've played recently that allowed them to win. What were some of the big differences in their gameplay or their strategy that they prepared for you guys?
Yeah, so the G2, the second matchup, it felt like they had really prepped for what we were going to do. And because we already qualified, we didn't want to change a whole lot or like show a whole lot in a sense. And we kind of did the same things and they exploited that, as well as like the split comp. Obviously that changed. We had actually intended on using that split comp when it came to playoffs. So we just kind of stuck with the old stuff while we finished out the extra matches we had to play in groups. And then Envy as well, like veto wise, you know, it was obvious once they picked Haven that they probably did a lot of homework to anti-air Haven, and they definitely exploited like our defense and stuff. And I feel like we definitely got outplayed, out-prepped.
Do we have any more questions from online press? Yeah, Niall, you can go next.
Yeah, just a question for Dapper. What was your favorite German beer that you tried out during your time in Berlin?
I really like the Pilsner. It's like kind of basic. I didn't want to like go too extreme. I had some like cocktails like I think they call it like the Western Mule or something at the hotel. They're all pretty good, yeah.
Thanks.
Got another one from Dustin Steiner, esports GG.
Do you guys think that playing the extra matches gave teams more footage to study for this your playstyle this week?
Yeah. I think the group stage didn't really work in our favor. Like, just like if we had a normal group stage, we would have been first seed and we would have had days off where we could have practiced, like we said, our ideal comps and not had to show anything. But what ended up happening is we were in this thing where we're scrimming new comps, and then in game we were running old comps, and obviously we lost against G2, which hurt our confidence, in my opinion. And then we lost a map against F4Q on split, which, like we said, we're scrimming a new comp, but we're using an old comp because we don't want to show it. So yeah, it definitely hurt us. Yeah.
Just to
Anyone?
add on to that. Oh, sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Just the schedule itself. The extra matches is kind of weird because we didn't play the first few days. So like we played every day straight on into the playoffs instead of having like a day to like reset and prep for the next team, which was, I mean, it is what it is. Like we still did the most we could, but yeah, it's unfortunate.
Anyone else online who wants to ask a question? Another one from Dustin Steiner, esports GG.
Sorry to keep following up here. Do you think that this result kind of hurts your confidence for champions at all?
Personally, I would say no. At the end of the day, this event genuinely means nothing to us, in the fact that like we already qualified for champions. We knew we had champions on lock before. That doesn't mean we weren't trying to win it. But a quarterfinal finish here, it honestly just like is almost a wake-up call. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. We're behind on meta. So now we learn from other teams and we go back into form and be the old Sentinels again.
Just to bounce off that, I mean, we definitely intended on like giving it our all, and we did, and winning, and we got outplayed by all the teams we lost to. But I think it'll be good at the end of the day as like a wake call for us to not be complacent, to stay ahead of the meta and be focused for champions.
Thanks, guys.
Next to go is Sage the Twin, esports GG. Sage, you're still muted.
Sorry about that. So Envy and 100 Thieves are going to move forward into the semifinals. Who of the two do you feel like is the favorite going to the matchup, and do you feel like they're the favorites going into the finals for Berlin?
So my personal opinion, between Envy and 100 Thieves, I'd say it would be a pretty close game. Both of them are pretty good teams, and they each have their respective things that make the team great. With the recent change in Envy, obviously they're a lot stronger than what they used to be. So I think it'll be a really close match, and any like really who shows up on the day will win.
Next one is Scott Robertson, esports.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us so late. Is there anything that you saw from other teams or players from other regions, not just within your own group, that's something you may try to work into your own game going forward, prepping for champions?
I think Vision Strikers showed a lot of cool stuff. I know like it gets spoken about a lot, but it is true. They're really creative with some of their team play, not just like set plays on attack, but also on defense that we could probably set up to be a bit more proactive on our defense sides.
Got another one from Brandon, run it back.
Okay, this is another YouTube user question, Dexy. He wants to know, because you've spoken about it in the past in regards to coach on the team. Is it maybe a possibility that you try even harder to get a coach now because of the results of this tournament?
What's that baby doing?
No. Yeah, I mean, obviously we want a coach and a coach can help, but there's like a lot of discussion about this, and it really confuses me. People seem like you can just magically pick someone and they're instantly going to improve the team. They're instantly going to contribute. But Valorant's still like, a developing game, a developing meta, and it's not that simple. It's not like you can just pick someone out that is instantly going to help. But definitely, yeah, like before Champions, I want someone at least at the minimum to help with like the preparations and stuff. So it is a focus, and we could always get some help.
Any more questions from online press? All right, tossing the mic to the on-site journalist here. Someone want to ask a question?
Hi guys, commiserations on your loss. I just want a quick question. When you come in with such a reputation, do you feel like teams try and up their game by 10% to try and obviously like knock the kings off their throne type of things? Do you feel like they try even harder and focus on that specific game rather than any other games that they play?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's not an excuse to like obviously say like they tried harder than us, but definitely. I feel like even in our scrimmages and our pracs, when we book certain like book against teams, like you can tell that they really want to see how they match up against us, and they give it their all. And it is a thing. I mean, that's the nature of being on top, and just have to deal with it.
Any more questions from on-site press? Another one
Sorry,
from
if I can just
Robin.
follow that up. Now that you're not going into Champions on that pedestal, do you think that will benefit you in any way?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hurt us. Like Chaz said, it came into a point where you had to be 110% every single game you played because other teams, everybody will play is doing that. So you really have to match their energy. And yeah, I think going to Champions, obviously whoever wins Berlin is gonna be on that heavy pedestal. And hopefully, we could just come out and keep learning, and hopefully teams won't put in that super heavy extra step,
Anyone else want to go for a question? All right, that concludes the press conference for today. Thank you, Sentinels, so much for joining.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Joining us for the last press conference of the day, it's Envy, who just came out of a 2-0 victory over Sentinels. Again, we will first start with some pre-submitted questions and then open the floor for live questions. If you wish to ask a question, please raise your hand. I'm starting with the first pre-submitted question. This one is from Brandon Moore, runner back, and it's for the whole team. Crashies has been on fire for all of Masters Berlin. He ranks in the top 12 of almost every stat, including KD, average damage per round, and only having 7 deaths, first deaths through 135 rounds of play. Up to this point, I want to know everyone's thoughts. Crashies for MVP?
Yep, he's a beast.
He's got it. Yeah, he's got it.
He secured it.
Take me home, Austin. Take me home. Best Silva NA for sure. No questions asked.
That's Sova world, bro.
Okay, world. Fuck it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay. Next one is from Sage Tatooine, Esports GG, and it's also for the whole team. You guys had a few days in between your last match and today. What was the preparation like, and how did it change when you got Sentinels?
Let's go.
So yeah, it definitely changed when we got Sentinels. We just kind of watched the matches. There's not a lot of prep done until we knew who we were playing. And the second we knew we were playing Sentinels, we just kind of, I just watched all their games from the tournament, and anti-strated a little bit, figured out how they play, and they play a very standard game. They rely a lot on their default and stuff like that, so it's nothing crazy. Yeah.
Got another one from Brandon Moore. We've spoken many times, and I can't express how happy I am for Team Envy, but for the longest time, the team couldn't pull the trigger, so to speak. How does it feel beating Sentinels on LAN and have the opportunity to truly pull off something great?
Feels amazing. I mean, personally, I've been on 2 teams and I've never beat them before, and it feels great to beat them on LAN too, especially 2-0. And we always knew we could do it, but today we're on some demon shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've never beaten them in anything meaningful other than a qualifier, so it meant a lot to beat them when it mattered most.
Yeah, beating them with their new roster of 10s as well, I think is a pretty big achievement for us as well. Like Jimmy said, he's never beat them on FaZe before, so it was like a pretty big achievement for all of us, to be honest.
Okay, we have time for live online questions now. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
Anyone?
Yes, 1 second. It's for Mikhail Klimentov.
Hi, folks. This question is, I don't want to dampen the mood at all, so apologies for this one. There are a lot of rumors from the Counter-Strike days around match fixing in the MDL. I'm wondering if that concerns the team right now, if any of you guys are thinking about that in terms of players on the team, roster changes, and so on.
We're ignoring this question.
What a question.
We're ignoring
huh?
this
That was
question.
a
What a
terrible
question. We're ignoring it. We're good on that one.
Do we have any Valorant related questions?
I think so.
Who asked that?
Wow.
Who asked that?
Yeah. I lost track. But the next to go is Dustin
Oh, that's
Steiner,
good.
Esports GG.
Okay, moving past that one. Yay, we spoke earlier this week and you said you were, thrilled to be in Berlin and just like experiencing all this. What are your thoughts after this match and like knocking out the best team in the world, and like really it feels like you brought that El Diablo energy to Envy and like, really unleashed it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like it felt pretty good, but I don't think the job's done, like we're all in it to go all the way and lift a trophy, and that's what we're gonna do.
Next one is for Mitch Reams, Nerd Street Gamers.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of the Demon Time and the El Diablo thing. Can you talk about the addition of Ye and really how that's pushed this team to an absolute new level, and you guys really showing it on the world stage right now?
Mitch, my boy. Yeah, bringing in Ye. I mean, he has the El Diablo confidence. He kind of instills confidence in the whole team, to be honest. We kind of know that everyone is scared of him, so it gives us, like I said, the El Diablo confidence.
If he needs a Phantom, done. I'm on a Spectre.
Next to go is Sage from Esports GG.
Victor, I just want to talk about just what you were feeling in the moment when, in the second half on split in the pistol, you clutch out a 1v2 scenario there. Did you feel like from that moment the game was like pretty much over and like you had demoralized Sentinels? Like, what were you feeling in that moment?
I didn't really think too much about the later rounds, but I was just in the moment. I didn't doubt myself for a second. I knew I could win. I was playing like I was isolating the 1v1s really well. So good thing it went in my favor. Good thing the right click went in my favor.
We knew he was gonna win that, by the way. We all knew.
I felt it. Vic always wins those. I don't know why, but he finds a way, you know? So that was really cool.
We got another one from Dustin Steiner, Esports GG.
Do you guys think that the schedule kind of played an impact on Sentinel's loss there? Just in terms of like they had to play pretty much every day. Really leading up to the playoffs, didn't really have a lot of prep time.
Maybe. They wouldn't have been able to prep for a lot of our comps anyway. We haven't played them in a while, so maybe they didn't expect some of the comps we brought up. For example, they changed theirs as well, so I'm not really sure what that was all about, but they put 10s on Rays and I think what was the other one?
Sick on Sky.
Yeah, Sick on Sky, which they don't normally do on Split. So yeah, I mean, neither team had that much prep on the other, in my opinion. So I don't think it affected the overall. I think we had the same parameters. Yeah.
Next to go is Mitch Reams.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys mentioned the Victor pistol round, which sort of seemed like the beginning of the end there. But was there a moment during the first map, Crashies? I know you had that like 10 health 1v2, where you guys really realized, hey, this is our game. We've got this.
Yeah, I mean, even when we were losing rounds, I think the team was like really confident. Honestly, we should have closed it out like 13-6. It should never have been overtime. We lost some dumb rounds, but yeah, we were all super confident that we're going to win the map, to be honest.
Got another one from Sage between Esports GG.
This one's for the whole team, or just more specifically FNS. In a press conference with G2 Esports, Nucky stated that Sentinels have played the same for the past 4 or 5 tournaments. Do you feel like this is a true statement about the team?
Yeah, I mean, they were winning. Why change what's working? So, I mean, yeah, nobody ever beat them till now. So there was no reason for them to change anything. I think they do play very similarly from one event to the other, but they're destroying everyone. So I can't really blame them for that.
It's kind of like the saying, don't change what's not broken, you know? But hey, I mean, they might have to change now.
All right, I'll move the mic now to onsite press. Anyone wants to ask a question?
Hey guys, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Just going into the next game, obviously against 100 Thieves, it has a bit of more focus on it now because the winning team also gets champions qualification, if I have calculated that correctly. Do you think how do you think that's going to impact the game at all?
It's just one extra thing to play for, but obviously we're here to win the championship. It's not just 100 Thieves, and I think it's gonna be the same amount of impact on the game. But yeah, it definitely is in the back of our heads and back of theirs as well. But it doesn't matter for that as well. At the end of the day, we're gonna have an NA team in the final, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, besides that, I mean, yeah, we're playing to win. It doesn't really matter if we were playing for the spot at champions or not. We're playing to win this tournament.
Someone else wants to ask something? All right, that concludes the press conference for you guys. Thank you so much, Envy.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.